What's up, fam? It's me, and I'm back. And today, I just want mainly to talk to my black sisters. I want to talk to black women, especially foundational American black women. I want to have a talk with my sisters because there's a lot going on as far as black women are concerned. There's a lot that's being expected of us. There's a lot that we're being called out for. There's a lot that we're being called to do that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And today I just want to touch on a little bit of that stuff. I want to touch on a little bit of what's going on um, in these United States of America as far as foundational Black American women are concerned. Um, Now, I don't watch TV. I don't watch TV. That's just not something that I do. Um, every once in a while I might watch a movie online. I watch YouTube. I watch YouTube videos, but I don't watch television. So, and I don't have cable TV in my house. Um, my son has a Fire Stick, so he has access to some stuff. But as far as me, I just don't watch TV. I'm not interested in it. Um, the media has nothing that interests me, nothing at all that interests me. As a matter of fact, my children don't watch TV. My daughter doesn't watch TV, and she's 14 years old. She doesn't watch TV. If anything, she's watching videos on Netflix. She's watching gameplays and stuff like that. um and my son doesn't really watch a whole lot of TV either. He watches movies, and he plays his games, and he watches YouTube videos about all kinds of stuff, history, nature, that type of stuff. So we don't do the TV thing here. But I've been hearing a whole lot about this new show on Netflix called Love is Blind. Now, at first, I was hearing a whole lot about this Bob loved Abiola or whatever. And there was a whole lot going on with that show as far as the immigrants on that show, the black immigrants on that show, showing their disdain and their dislike and all of that for foundational black Americans. There was a lot of black male bashing on that show. And of course, it was promoting intersectionality. It was promoting interracial relationships. It was promoting all of that. And a lot of people called the show out. A lot of people called, the people that produced the show, and the creator of the show and all that. All of them were being called out because it was another one of those. Well, this Love is Blind that's on Netflix, and I'm not surprised because Netflix is doing a whole lot of stuff. Netflix is involved in a whole lot of questionable stuff. Netflix with all of these drag queen heroes, and drag queen and transgender cartoons. Netflix with all these the documentaries that are coming out against certain people. So Netflix, and then you have to think too. Susan Rice is on the board of next Netflix. Susan Rice, yeah, the Susan Rice, the ambassador Susan Rice that came out at Snoop a couple of weeks ago. She's also a part of Netflix. She's some kind of executive director or something like that at Netflix. So I'm not surprised that Netflix is pushing these agendas. I'm not surprised at all that Netflix is pushing these agendas. And I'm starting to be like Monique. I'm starting to agree with Monique that maybe, just maybe, foundational Black Americans need to boycott Netflix. Maybe we need to, maybe we need to set Netflix aside, and we need to find somebody else to deal with. Because Netflix is really showing that it's a big part of this whole agenda, especially this agenda to push all of this transgender stuff, all of this LGBTQ stuff, and all of this. Netflix is real, and all of this interracial dating, this swirling, and all of that. Netflix is really, really a part of that, and Netflix is really showing that it's a part of the agenda, and that it's a part of all the propaganda that's being pushed, especially against foundational black men, and and against heterosexuality at all. Because the way these people are talking now, and with all of this stuff these folks got going on now, what's starting to happen is, what they're starting to show is, and what they're starting to promote is, that actually there's something wrong with being heterosexual, with just being a straight man or woman. That there's something wrong with you. You're the one that's unnatural. You're the one that has a problem if you're just heterosexual. And if, because you're heterosexual, you have your preference as far as who you want to date and who you want to sleep with, then there's something wrong with you. You're discriminating against other folks because you have your preference, and because you're heterosexual and you want your partners to be heterosexual, then you're discriminating, you're hating, you have some kind of phobia, and you know, and you just, and there's just something wrong with you. That's what's being pushed. That's what's being pushed. Is all of this is saying that there's something wrong with you because you're heterosexual, because you're straight. And because you're straight, you're not interested in having any kind of relationship, any kind of romantic relationship with somebody that's not straight, with somebody that's not heterosexual like you. That's just your preference. But now you're not being allowed to have your preference. If you have a preference now, and because you have a preference, you refuse to date somebody that's transgender, or somebody that's gay, or somebody that's bisexual, or whatever. If you refuse to date somebody that's not straight, that's not heterosexual like you, then they say you have a phobia. You don't have a right to have a preference. You don't have a right to say, well, that's not what I prefer. That's not what I want. You don't have that right anymore. They're seriously trying to take that right away from heterosexual people. And they're really trying to force heterosexual people to have relationships with LGBTQ people, whether that's what they prefer to do or not. And if you don't, then you're going to be labeled as having some kind of phobia, and you're going to be labeled as a hater. You're going to be labeled as somebody that's discriminating against somebody. And then, as I said in the video that I did a couple of days ago on this whole thing about sexual preference and all of this, it's going to get to that point. If we keep going, and if we vote for these Democrats, and if these Democrats get in power, what's going to happen is, if you refuse to have a relationship with somebody who is not heterosexual like you, you're going to be hit with a hate crime. That's what's going to happen. You're going to be charged with a hate crime. That's what they're working towards. But anyway, so on this Love is Blind show, apparently this dude by the name of Carlton Morton came out after being in this so-called relationship with this black woman named Diamond. He comes out and finally admits that he's bisexual. Which means, he has sex with men and women, right? And apparently Diamond didn't know this, and she felt some kind of way about it, because this is not something that he disclosed to her early on in the relationship, or it's not something that she knew early on in the relationship, or it's not something that he told her at the beginning. It's something that she found out later on. And, she felt some type of way about it, as she should have felt some type of way about it. But now, because of that, Love is Blind star slams urban media for despicable, biphobic. Let's see. This is coming from pinkuk.com or something like that. Yeah, pinknews.co UK. Love is Blind star slams urban media for biphobic treatment. Black Lives Matter until it's LGBT plus black life. So now he's upset because of the way he claims he was depicted and all of that in the Love is Blind, and the fact that, she wasn't jumping for joy, and she wasn't just, turning flips and all of that to find out that the man that she's having a relationship with, or the man she's in a relationship with, is bisexual, right? So let's read a little bit of this. A contestant on Netflix show Love is Blind has slammed the media for the biphobic treatment he has experienced since he came out as bisexual on the show. Carlton Morton, who made headlines when he came out as bisexual to his girlfriend on the hit Netflix show, hit out at the media on Instagram for the biphobic questioning he has faced. I'm so transphobia, homophobia, biphobia, but they have yet to come up with heterophobia. They have yet to come up with that. Because what I'm seeing now is all I'm seeing is the LGBTQ people slamming heterosexual people all the time. All I'm seeing is them slamming and trying to shame, you know what I'm saying, and trying to force themselves on heterosexual people all the time now. So when are they gonna start using the word heterophobic? And maybe it's time for us as heterosexual people to start using that word. But anyway, all right, black women, now you got to understand what precedents this is trying to set, and what they're gonna be trying to push, and what they're gonna be trying to force you to do now. So now, he claims that he's receiving, Lord Jesus, there's so many of these phobic words, so I'm trying to keep up. Now, he claims he's receiving biphobic treatment because he came out on the show to his girlfriend as being bisexual. I'm really done, he wrote in an Instagram post. Thanks for the press requests, bookings, etc. I am not doing any press booking as of today's radio interview. He slammed urban media, saying it had been the worst to him. Black lives matter until it's an LGBT black life, he added. Lord Jesus. Also, so-called celebrity friends on social media have every opportunity to defend my character, yet they don't. I've argued for tons of people. Y'all see any of those people speaking up for me? I'm done. Now this is a man carrying on like this. This is a man carrying on like this. This is a man having a temper tantrum like this on social media. Just having a whiny temper tantrum like some woman on social media. In a caption alongside the post, he wrote, "Thanks for the three of y'all who supported me in this. I feel alone and don't want any of this life anymore. I'm fighting alone and it hurts." He later added on his Instagram story, "Thanks for the kind messages. On not so good days like today, it means a lot to me." Morton was a contestant on Love is Blind, a dating show where men and women are put in pods and can hear each other but not see each other. The couples date for 10 days without seeing each other and can see each other face to face after that period if they choose to get engaged. On the show, Morton and his girlfriend Diamond Jack decided to get engaged. But the relationship immediately crumbled when they met face to face. When they met, Morton came out as bisexual to Jack, who reacted with anger, resulting in an immediate end to the relationship. Since then, Morton has faced a number of biphobic questions. One of these came last month when he was asked on a radio show called The Morning Culture to make a choice between men and women. You understand how incorrect that is and how offensive that is to bisexual people, Morton replied. Okay, so now since he's come out and everybody's talking about biphobic, and everybody's slamming, everybody talking about folks are transphobic and biphobic and all of this kind of stuff. Now they have shamed her into changing her stance. Morton's ex-fiance regrets reacting the way she did to his coming out. Morton's ex-fiance Jack has since said she regrets reacting angrily when he came out as bisexual. Okay, so see, now they're going to shame her, you know what I'm saying, and make her feel bad because she was angry. Because she was angry at finding out that this man was bisexual. Now, 10 days is not a lot, but within that 10 days, he could have told her that. He could have told her that within those 10 days, right? Almost a year and a half after Love is Blind was filmed, the pair spoke to people, and Diamond has now said that she regrets her reaction. I would change the approach of it. I was trying to be very understanding, but I had questions because I've never been with a bisexual man. Maybe I should have been more encouraging and maybe start off saying, I'm happy you were able to open up to me. I'm happy you were able to bring this to my attention at this moment in time. Or I'm happy you came out. I know this is very hard for you to do. That possibly could have changed that whole outcome of how we were aggressive towards each other. So see, all of this talk of biphobic and biphobia and all of this, every time, somebody disagrees with the LGBTQ community, or every time somebody chooses to not want to be a part of that, or chooses to not want that to be a part of their life, or not want that to be a part of their agenda, or not want that to be a part of their event, or not want their children to be exposed to it, or whatever the case may be. Every time somebody disagrees, or every time somebody goes against whatever the LGBT got going on, or whatever agenda they're trying to push, or whatever, the first thing that they want to do is try to shame people, you know what I'm saying, and calling people transphobic and homophobic, and now it's biphobic and all of this. So they're shaming this young woman because she reacted in anger, which she had every right to react in anger. Now, supposedly, like I said, I don't watch this stuff, but based on what it just said, these people are supposed to make a love connection in 10 days and not see each other. You understand what I'm saying? And then after this 10 days is up, they can see each other and choose to get engaged. Okay, so first of all, how in the hell are you going to form any kind of real relationship with somebody in 10 days? You can't form a real relationship with somebody in 10 days if you see them every day. But they only have 10 days, and then after this 10 days, they have to get engaged. And probably the reason why she was angry was because in that 10-day period, they probably had discussions about relationships and all of this kind of stuff, maybe past relationships and all of that, and he didn't say anything about it. So after they go through these 10 days, and then they decide, okay, well, we're going to get engaged, we're going to meet each other, then that's when she finds this out. So not only did she react in anger, she was probably she might have been a little embarrassed, she might have been a little hurt, all of that. And she had every right to be. Because this is not something that you just want somebody to just spring on you all of a sudden and do it in front of cameras. Because he came out on the show, not in private. But she has probably received all type of backlash, you understand what I'm saying, because of her reaction. So now they have shamed her into now she got to try to explain herself. She got to try to explain why she was upset, why she was angry, possibly hurt after finding this out the way she did. Okay, black women, this is what I want you to understand. Now they're going to start shaming you. And because these are black people, you understand what I'm saying? And of course, he had the nerve to go in with all of this talking about urban media and all that. Okay, well, urban, we know the word urban stands for black. So he's again trying to make the black community the face of homophobia or all of these phobias that they're talking about. You understand what I'm saying? Instead of just understanding that this woman had every right to be upset. I read another article. Hold on. In Wear Your Voice. And this was written by Deshaun Harrison. So this is a black dude. This is a black gender fluid dude. Because this dude, hold on. Okay, I don't want to hear that. Because this dude claims that he was having that, he has relationships and he has sexual relationships with all kinds of genders and all of this kind of stuff. Okay, let me get back to it. Yeah, wear your voice. Hold on. Let me get back to it because when I clicked to get rid of that video, it clicked off of my link. Love is Blind exposes biphobia, heterosexism, and internalized shame. And like I said, this is written by somebody named Deshaun Harrison. So, and Deshaun is usually is usually a black name for a guy. This could be a woman, but whoever this person is, they're one of those so-called gender fluid folk that just have sex with just anybody. They just open to have sex with anybody. Now it says online, many people have had very long and exhaustive conversations about biphobia and how it played out in the show. I saw a lot of people, more notably heterosexual black women, arguing that it was wrong and deceitful for men to hide or not make clear that they are bisexual. This is a premise I am deeply uncomfortable with. Not only, not only because I am a person who both dates and has sex with people of varying gender identities, but also because it just does not make sense. Okay, how does it not make sense that you have that conversation with somebody that you're dating? How does it not make sense that you let the woman that you're dating know that you're bisexual? How does it not make sense that if you're a woman, you understand what I'm saying? You let your partner know, if it's a man, you let him know, okay, I'm bisexual. These are the kind of conversations, these are things that people need to know. Why do people need to know that? Because you need to know that I mean, as a heterosexual, as a straight heterosexual person, when you enter into a relationship with another grown individual, you automatically assume, unless they come to you and tell you that they're a virgin, you know that they've had other sexual relationships, right? And if they are coming to you as a straight person, you understand what I'm saying? They are allowing you to assume that they are heterosexual, then that's what you're going to assume. You're not going to even think about anything else unless that person says something or unless they do something that's just absolutely suspect. So I think for the sake of health, for the sake of folks not finding out things from other folks later on down the road. I think for all of those reasons, yes, we should be honest with each other and we should tell each other, well, I'm bisexual. You understand what I'm saying? I have sex with men and women or whatever the case may be. But this person seems to think that that's not something that you should do. That it doesn't make sense for a man to come out and let a woman know that he's bisexual in the beginning. Not only because I'm a person who both dates and has sex with people of varying gender identities, but also because it just does not make sense. If someone is looking to be in a monogamous relationship, who they've dated should not matter, nor should it matter what genders they take sexual and/or romantic interest in. The need to know who your partner has slept with is rooted in patriarchal violence and, in this case, heterosexism. So this is another one of those LGBT people, trying to come up with excuses and trying to make excuses, and trying to throw all of that toxic masculinity, because that's what patriarchal violence, that's basically what he's saying. Toxic masculinity. That's what the need to know who people have been with and people's sexuality, that's where that's rooted in. No, it's rooted in common sense. You understand what I'm saying? And it's rooted in mutual respect. Respect me enough to tell me the truth. Respect me enough to let me know exactly what I'm dealing with right off the bat. And let me decide whether or not that's something that I want to deal with. So black women understand. These are the things that you black women are being faced with. You black women are being faced with. I say you, I don't say me. Because I'm not a part of the dating pool. I don't date. I'm not interested in that. You understand what I'm saying? I'm 53 years old. I'm what they call an older woman. You know, I've had my days. I've been married and divorced. I got my kids. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm just not a part of the dating pool. But if I was, then this would, this would apply to me. But black women, this is what you're being faced with right now. You're being faced with all of these. These are the choices that you're being given. You're being given the choice of one, being replaced by men. Being replaced by men who want to be women. Men who want to live their lives as women. And you're being expected to just accept that. You're being expected to just take a seat and accept that these men are coming in and they're trying to replace you. You're being expected to just accept that these men are now becoming your competition. So not only do you have to compete with other women, but now you have to compete with other women and men who want to dress like women and live as women and act like women. And you're being told that you just got to accept that. You're being told that not only do you have to accept all of these so-called women, these transgender women, not only do you have to accept them, but you have to open up your arms and invite them to be a part of your women's groups and to invite them to be a part of all the things that are going on as far as women is concerned. Invite them to all the award ceremonies that are for women. Invite them, to when you're sitting down and you're having discussions about feminine products and all of this kind of stuff. They just got to be a part of everything because they identify as women, because they feel like women. You understand what I'm saying? Because they want to live as a woman. Or maybe because, they decided that they're gonna have the whole reassignment surgery thing and all of that. And they've started taking hormones and they got, they growing a little bit of boob or whatever. And their voices have changed a little bit. And you just got to accept that they are women just like you. You understand what I'm saying? Even though they got penises and testicles and sperm floating around in their bodies and they can make babies and all of this kind of stuff. And they can get women pregnant. And all of this, you just got to accept that this is just the woman just like you. And now this woman has become a part of the competition. This woman is now, this woman, quote unquote, this transgender woman is now your competition. And you're just going to have to sit back and you're just going to have to accept that. That's the first thing black women are being told that they have to accept. Because they're not pushing, you have to understand, they're not pushing all of this out to white folk. They're not pushing all of this out to the dominant society. They're not, you don't see white men going around acting like Billy Porter. You don't see Mexican men going around acting like Billy Porter. You don't see Asian men going around acting like Billy Porter. You don't see any Middle Eastern men or Indian men walking around acting like Billy Porter. The only thing that you see doing what Billy Porter doing and being that clown and that puppet for the white supremacist agenda is Billy Porter. You don't see no white celebrities with their white children out parading them around like Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union are doing with this little boy. They got him around everywhere. They taking all kind of videos and posting them all kind of places and got him all on at different big events and all of this kind of stuff. Say he's speaking and he walking around sashaying and twisting and doing all of that. A 12-year-old. It would be too much for a 12-year-old girl to be doing all of that. For you to be sexualizing a 12-year-old girl like that. That's more a 12-year-old boy. But he walking around twisting and sashaying and throwing hips and all of that kind of stuff. If I had a 12-year-old daughter doing all that, I'd snatch a knot in her ass. But you don't see any white celebrities with their white children doing that. Now you see the white celebrities with the black children that they have adopted, letting the boys dress as girls and letting the girls dress as boys and all of that. But you don't see white celebrities doing that with their white children. So yes, black women, this is aimed at you. You understand what I'm saying? There's a reason why Netflix chose a bisexual black man to date a black woman. The other black woman on the show is doing the whole zaddy thing with the white guy. Because this show is telling you that unless you're willing to date outside your race, and unless you're willing to date a bisexual man, that you're wrong. You got some kind of phobia. You're showing some kind of hate. If you want to date just a straight old average everyday heterosexual black man, it's something wrong with you. That's what they're telling you. So the first thing they're telling you is you got to accept that these men that want to live like women, these men, like I said, with penises and testicles and sperm floating all through their bodies and all of that, you got to just accept that these are just women just like you. You understand what I'm saying? And now they have become they have become your competition as far as dating is concerned. As far as relationships are concerned, they have just become your competition. So you might as well go ahead on with the sister girl thing and just be satisfied and just take a seat. That's the first thing they're telling you got to accept. And if you don't accept that, we're going to shame you. If you don't make us a part of your black girls rock or your black girls magic or whatever, we're going to get out and we're going to protest. You understand what I'm saying? And we're going to shame you and we're going to make you ashamed. You understand what I'm saying? And if you don't take the symbol for women, for feminism off of your menstrual products, your feminine products and all of that, we're going to shame you and all that. Although we don't have periods and we can't have periods. You understand what I'm saying? But still, because we're not included in that, then you got to take, all that's got to be changed. So if you don't make us a part of, if you don't talk to us about and make us a part of your discussion about breastfeeding, and public breastfeeding and all of the different controversies and all that they've had about that. There was a time when transgender women wanted to be included in that whole conversation, although they'll never be able to feed any baby from their breast because they can't produce no milk. Yeah, they can get some hormones to grow some fake boobs, but they can't put no milk glands in them. It ain't no hormone that they can get to put no milk glands in them so that they can breastfeed a baby. But they still wanted to be a part of that, and women were shamed, and it was said that they were being discriminated against because they weren't made a part of that discussion. Okay. So not only have you got to accept that, you've got to accept these men as women and accept that they have now become your competition as far as dating and all of that kind of stuff is concerned. Now you're being shamed if you prefer not to be in a relationship with a bisexual man. You are a heterosexual black woman and you prefer heterosexual men. You prefer heterosexual black men. Where you're going to be shamed. You understand what I'm saying? And you're going to be called biphobic, and you're going to be told that it's something wrong with you if you prefer not to be in a relationship with a bisexual man. If you prefer not to be in a relationship with a man that's fucking other men. To listen to this guy here, this Deshaun character, to listen to him, that's not something that you even have the right to know. You don't even have the right to know whether or not this man is bisexual or not. You don't have that right. That's just something that you find out later on down the road. You understand what I'm saying? When one of his male sexual partners, decides that he's gonna call you up and let you know what do you know that he's bisexual? Do you know that he likes men? Do you know that I had a relationship with him too? So that's something that you're supposed to find out later on down the road. And then when you find out, it's not supposed to be a problem. You're supposed to be, oh, okay, well, it's all right. You understand what I'm saying? So not only do you have to be concerned when you know when this man might be stepping out, or when this man might be doing this, that, or the other, or this man's behavior might start changing, or he might start acting a little suspicious or whatever. Not only have you got to be concerned about whether or not he's cheating with another woman, you got to be concerned whether or not he's cheating with another man. But now you're being told that that's just something that you're going to have to accept. That's just something that you're going to have to deal with. Because if you don't, then that means you biphobic. That means there's something wrong with you. That means that you're discriminating against this man because he's bisexual. You're not discriminating. That's your preference. You are a heterosexual woman. You prefer to be with a heterosexual man. Ain't nothing wrong with that. You have every right to have a preference. See, like I said in the other video, that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to force you to accept this. They're trying to force you to have sex with these people. They're trying to open up their sexual prospects. They want these LGBTQ people want sexual access to everybody. That's what they want. They want sexual access to everybody, including children. But see, before they can get around to really letting it all be out, as far as also wanting to have sexual access to children, they got to defeat every other arena first. They got to knock down every other domino first. But that's what's coming. That's the reason why Gabrielle and Dwayne Wade are doing so much to promote this child and push him out there, and doing so much to sexualize him. I've said it before, I'll say it again. You're 12 years old, you're not old enough to make any other decision in your life. You can't get a driver's license, you can't get a learner's permit, you can't get a job, you can't go buy a pack of cigarettes, you can't go buy a drink, you can't get no no insurance nowhere, you can't go buy nothing, you can't buy no house, you can't buy no car, you can't go do nothing because you're not old enough. But yet, we're supposed to believe that you're old enough to decide about your sexuality. We're supposed to believe that you're old enough to make a life-altering decision about wanting to have gender reassignment surgery and wanting to put the hormones in your body that will start that process. You ain't old enough to make no other decision. You are even at the age where if you do something wrong, your parents can be held responsible for it. You ain't even old enough to be sued in court. If somebody wants to sue you, they have to sue your parents. They can't sue you. But you're old enough to decide about your sexuality. You're old enough to decide that you want to live as a girl, and you want to walk around and you want to sashay and you want to twist and you want to throw it here and you want to throw it there and all of that. But you ain't old enough to make no other decision. And see, this is setting a precedent that if this child at 12 is old enough to make that decision, this child is old enough to know who he is and to know what he wants and all of that. Okay, then what other 12-year-old ain't old enough? And this is the kind of stuff that will set the precedent for them to lower the age of consent. And when they start lowering the age of the consent, well, then the pedophiles can just snatch them up at 12 and just go and do what they want to do with them. And it won't be a thing that the parents can say about it. Okay, but black women, back to you. So like I said, not only are you being told that you're just going to have to accept, these men as women because they feel like women or because they identify as women. Not only are you going to have to accept them, you understand what I'm saying, and accept that they have now become a competition to you as far as dating is concerned. Now you're just going to have to accept that you just gonna have to date bisexual men. You just gonna have to date bisexual men. If he don't tell you that he bisexual in the beginning, and you find out some other kind of way later on down the road, oh well, that's just something that you just gonna have to deal with. You know what I'm saying? You might as well go ahead on, and get you a book and start reading and be glad, because this is what you just gonna have to accept. And if you don't accept it, if you don't like it, if it's not your preference, if it's not what you want to do, you don't understand, and you speak out against it, then you're going to be called biphobic. And you're going to be accused of discriminating against this man because you choose not to be in a relationship with a bisexual man. You choose not to be sleeping with a man that's sleeping with other men. You choose not to be kissing on a man and all of that that's going around sucking dick. And with all of this, that the dominant society and their beast system and all of these different agendas that they're trying to push on us, with all of this, we got black women actually running around agreeing with this mess and going along with this mess and talking about black toxic masculinity and talking about homophobia in the black community and talking about the reason why they, they with a white man or they with a man from another ethnic group or whatever is because of the way black men act. So you got black women that are with all and a part of all of this feminism and all of this, and they showing you black women that they're not interested in you. They showing you that they're gonna attack you the same way they attack the black man. They just attacking you in a different way. So they have disrespected you and disrespected womanhood and disrespected your black womanhood in telling you that you're just gonna have to accept these men that want to be women, these men that feel like women. You're gonna have to accept them, and now you're just gonna have to accept that you're just gonna have to date bisexual men, whether that's your preference or not, whether that's what you want to do or not. You just gonna have to accept it. You just got to get used to it, because if you don't accept it, and if you don't just deal with it, you understand what I'm saying? Then you're going to be accused of being biphobic. You're going to be accused of discriminating against this man because he's bisexual. Because you're no longer allowed to have a preference. You're no longer allowed to be able to make that choice. You're no longer allowed to be able to choose who the hell you have a relationship with and who the hell you decide that you're going to lay down with. You don't have that right anymore. We're taking that right from you. We're going to get that biphobic label to stick to you. And like I said, if the Democrats get in power with all of this Equality Act and all of this stuff they talking about with LGBTQ, then before long, you having a choice and you having a preference is going to lead to you being hit with a hate crime. Because they're going to tell you discriminating against this person because this person is transgender, or because this person is gay, or because this person is bisexual. You discriminating and you have committed a hate crime. Just because you don't choose to sleep with a man that's sleeping with other men. Sisters, please wake up. Please wake up to the agenda. Please wake up to what's happening. Please understand that the dominant society and the white supremacists don't give a bit more about you than they do about the black man. They don't care a bit more about you than they do about the black man. They are targeting you as well. It's all about keeping the black woman and the black man separate. Keeping us separate and keeping us at each other's throats all the time. Because all this show, Love is Blind, all this show is promoting is black women either dating outside of their race, dating somebody other than a heterosexual black man. That's all this show is promoting. Is black women dating anybody other than a heterosexual black man. It's all right for you to date a white man. It's all right for you to date an Asian. It's all right for you to date. Now you can date a black man as long as he's bisexual. You understand what I'm saying? As long as he's bisexual, it's okay for you to date a black man. And if you choose not to, and if you decide that that's not the route that you want to go, then we're going to accuse you of being biphobic. That's what this show was promoting. This show was letting black women know, as long as you're not dating a heterosexual black man, you okay. Anything other than a heterosexual black man. It's even okay for you to date a bisexual black man. It's okay for you to date anything, for you to be involved with anybody other than a heterosexual black man. Because you're involved with a heterosexual black man, if that's your preference, if that's what you prefer, then it's something wrong with you. That's what this show is telling you. It's something wrong with you. That's what all the propaganda is telling you. That it's something wrong. The only folks that are championing being in a relationship with a heterosexual black man are transgender women. See, that's what they want. They want all the heterosexual black men to be over here reserved for transgender women. But just an old regular everyday ordinary average black woman. It's something wrong with you, sis, if that's your preference. If a heterosexual black man is your preference, then there's something wrong with you. That's the agenda that they're pushing. Why? Because they want all the heterosexual black men over here, lost, stuck over here somewhere, and the only choice that's left to them is transgender men. That's the reason why Neely Fuller said the white male anus was going to replace the black vagina. And what they're doing, black woman, is they're trying to get you comfortable with dating outside of your race, and dating bisexual men. That's what they're trying to get you comfortable with. They're trying to get you comfortable with that. They're trying to get you hemmed up in a corner where you have to accept that, or either be shamed, either be called a hater, either be called biphobic if you don't just accept it. Now, if that's not an attack on the black woman, then I don't know what is. They attack your very womb by trying to make you accept these men walking around talking about they feel like women and they identify as women. And because black women have supported homosexuality so much, you know, with the sister girl thing and the girlfriend thing and all of that with the gay guys, you know, they figure that the easiest target is the black woman. So if you're a black woman and you raising a black son, a heterosexual black son, what does the future hold for him as far as dating is concerned? Is he going to be forced to have to date another man? Even though he's heterosexual, he's going to be expected to date another man just because that man says he identifies as a woman. But he got all the equipment of a man. Now they're trying to tell you, and they're trying to suggest that it's even wrong for you to ask a man about his sexuality. for you to even pose that question. Now they're saying is something wrong with that. That's something that's not something that you need to know. Where I come from, you question any man about his sexuality. Where I come from, and back in my day, if you dating a dude, you understand what I'm saying? And this dude has been with too many women, and he's been with too many of the wrong kinds of women, women that have bad reputations, women that have reputations for being burned and having diseases and all of this kind of stuff. If you find out that this dude trying to talk to you, and you know that he done been all tangled up with all these kinds of tricks and all of that, you back up from him. And you like, no. Because I don't know what you got. I don't know where you been. They call that a dirty dick. That's what they call it in my day, a dirty dick. And the man is as heterosexual as they come. But because of the type of women that he was engaging with, other women don't, no, I can't, I can't take that chance with you. You got too much other stuff going on. You understand what I'm saying? Or a dude that's got a whole lot of different kids by a whole lot of different women. Back in my day, that was one of the type of kinds of dudes that you stepped back from. And like I said, these men weren't bisexual. They were as heterosexual as they could be. But because they were dealing with the wrong kinds of women, or they had the wrong kind of stuff going on, people thought twice before they got involved with them. So if you want to know what kind of women a man has been messing around with before you would get involved with him, of course you want to know whether or not he's been messing around with other men. But now they're trying to say that you don't even have that right to even ask that question, to even have that kind of prior information. So black women, understand what you're up against, and understand that, yes, you are under attack just as well. You are under attack just like the heterosexual black man. The heterosexual black woman is now under attack. And you got all of these shows coming on, and you got all of these commercials and everything that you see in media, all of this pushing all of these interracial relationships and pushing all of these same-sex relationships and all of this kind of stuff. Very seldom do you see any shows now where they have just good old-fashioned, prosperous, heterosexual relationships between a black man and a black woman. You don't see shows like that anymore. You don't see commercials like that anymore, supporting and promoting the black family. You understand what I'm saying? With a black father, a black mother, black kids, you don't see that anymore. All the shows, all the programming, all the commercials, all the ads, all of that stuff that you see now is either promoting LGBTQ relationships or promoting interracial relationships. And that's what these shows are promoting. That Bob loves Abishola and this Love is Blind mess. This is what they're promoting. They're promoting interracial relationships and LGBT relationships. And they're letting black women know they're subconsciously, subliminally saying to black women that unless you're in a relationship with somebody that's not black, or a black man that's bisexual, something is wrong with you. If your preference is just a plain old average, everyday, heterosexual black man, if that's your preference, then something is wrong with you. That's what they're telling you. They're telling you something is wrong with you. Again, like I said, what we're getting, especially in the black community, what we're getting is that being heterosexual is what's wrong. Being heterosexual is what's unnatural. Being heterosexual is the problem. There's nothing wrong. You fine if you transgender. There ain't nothing wrong with you. You fine. There ain't nothing wrong with you if you gay. You fine. There's nothing wrong with you if you're bisexual. You're fine. There's nothing wrong with you if you're gender fluid. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with you. The people with the real problem and the people that are really fucked up and screwed up in the head are the people that are heterosexual. That's what media And that's what all of this propaganda is pushing. That's the narrative that they're pushing, is that there's something wrong with being heterosexual. So black women, that's what they're telling you. They're telling you that you might as well go head on and either get you a white man, you understand what I'm saying, or get you a man of some other race, you understand what I'm saying, or be satisfied with a bisexual black man, because the heterosexual black man just ain't it. That's what they're telling you. Why? Because like I said, they want to reserve all the heterosexual black men for the transgender women, for the for the men pretending to be women, for the men who identify as women. That's who they want to save all the heterosexual black men for. Because that's what transgender women want. They want heterosexual black men. You understand what I'm saying? That's the reason why you had Malik Yoba coming out with that lie, talking about he was heterosexual, but he was attracted to transgender women. He was attracted to men that he knew had penises, but kind of looked like women. Trying to broaden, trying to expand the definition of heterosexual to include homosexual acts and homosexual tendencies. So so-called heterosexual black men would feel comfortable having sexual relationships with other men. But no matter how you twist it, no matter how you turn it, no matter what kind of language you try to use, no matter what kind of phobias and all of these different kinds of languages and everything that they've tried to come up with, and all of these words they made up, and all of this to try to make this shit acceptable and to try to make this shit sound scientific or whatever the case may be, no matter what it is, if you are a man that's attracted to men and you're having sex with men, you're gay. If you're a woman and you're having sex with other women and you're attracted to other women, you are a lesbian. You are gay. There is no such thing as bisexual. You're either gay or you lesbian. There is no such thing as transgender. You are either born a man or you are born a woman. I don't give a damn what kind of words they try to make up to try to make it sound scientific, to try to make it make sense. So if you are a heterosexual woman and they're telling you that it's okay to date a bisexual man, then basically all they're telling you is it's okay for you to date a gay man. Because if he's having sex with other men, he's gay. And that's really his preference. So black women, you better understand when you're being targeted. You better understand the real program. You understand what I'm saying? Because if you're dating a bisexual man and you're a heterosexual woman and you're dating a bisexual man, eventually he's going to go off and be with a man. Because that's where he really wants to be. Because he's really gay. Black women, you better understand that all of this is really just to promote depopulation and to stop us from procreating. Just like if a heterosexual man gets with a transgender woman, I don't give a damn how many hormones she takes, and he takes, or she takes, whatever the hell they want to call themselves, and how much reassignment surgery she has. When those two get together, they still can't produce a baby. Now, you can produce a baby if you're a heterosexual woman with a bisexual man. But the thing is, how many women are going to stay in a relationship with a man that they know is having sex with other men? I mean, do they honestly believe that women are that thirsty? Do they honestly believe that black women are just so thirsty and so desperate for a man that we just have to settle for what we can get? Because that's basically what you're saying. You're just gonna have to settle for what you can get because the black heterosexual man is hands off. And they're promoting all of this swirling and all of these interracial relationships because if the black woman is going to be having babies, she's going to be having babies by men in other races and other ethnic groups. She's not going to be having black babies. She's not going to be having foundational black American babies. So black women, understand the programming. Understand that you are under attack. And understand all of this little stuff that they trying to slide in and all this little slick shit that they doing on all of these different ads and all of these different shows and all of this kind of stuff. You've got to understand that it's just all a part of the agenda. And it's all meant to keep fostering this division between the heterosexual black man and the heterosexual black woman. Because they're not pushing this mess out to any other group of people. They're only pushing this mess out to us. And they feel like, let's be honest, they feel like the black woman is the weakest link. Why do they feel like the black woman is the weakest link? Because you got so many black women coming out against black men. You've got so many black women speaking against black men. You've got so many black women using black men as the excuse as to why they're involved in interracial relationships. You have so many black women willing to sell out and help bash the heterosexual black men. That's the reason why they feel like the black woman is the weakest link. So that's the reason why they keep telling you that you're so important. And that's the reason why they keep making you think that you're the backbone of this and you're the backbone of that. And that's the reason why they'll find one or two of you and prop you up and try to make you feel important and all of this kind of stuff. It's so that they can use you to promote all of these agendas. So that they can use you to keep working this divide between black men and black women. Because they know what happens the moment black men and black women come together. They know the power in that union. And they are doing everything that they can to stop it. So I just wanted to come today and I just wanted to have this little conversation with the sisters. I know I talked about some other stuff, but it all comes back to the same thing. And again, you have to understand it's Democrats and Democratic puppets and all of this kind of stuff that are coming out promoting all of this mess. The Democrats are all a big part of this agenda. And if you give them your vote and if you give them the power to get back in the White House, and to be able to actually push forward and bring to pass all of these laws and all of these different policies that they have, especially for LGBTQ, then you will legally no longer have the right to decide who you be in a relationship with, who you sleep with. Because if you decide against somebody that's bisexual, somebody that's a part of the LGBTQ, they're going to accuse you of discrimination, like I said, and you're going to be hit with a hate crime. So you got to understand how all of this stuff ties in together and how all of it is a part of the whole agenda to like I said, if they can't get rid of us, to at least just keep us enslaved. Keep us enslaved and keep us bound, keep us in bondage, keep us oppressed, keep us down, keep us at each other's throats all the time. I'm talking about the black man and the black woman. But just take a look around you. Some of y'all love to watch TV. Some of y'all love cable, you love Netflix, you love all of this stuff, you love to watch TV. Well, then pay attention to what you're watching. Pay attention to the shows. Pay attention to the commercials. Pay attention to the ads. Pay attention to the images that they keep pushing out there. But black women, we have got to come together. We have got to wake up. We have got to come together. We have got to realize what the plan is. We have got to realize that all of this is just systematic ways of keeping the black man and the black woman apart. They've been doing it for years. They've been coming up with laws and different ways and all of this kind of stuff to keep the black man out of the home and to keep the black man and the black woman from uniting, because they know that the strength of the black community is the family. And the strength of the family is that relationship between that man and that woman. And black women, stop being the weakest link. Stop being what they use against your black man. He's still your black man. And stop letting the dominant society do this. And take a look at what you're looking at. Like I said, that Bob loves Abishola and this Love is Blind mess and all of this kind of stuff. That's the reason why the name of it is Love is Blind. You understand what I'm saying? They're supposed to try to act like love is blind to everything. So because I love you, I'm blind to the fact that you fucking other men. Because I love you, I'm blind to the fact that your ancestors kept my ancestors enslaved for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years and are still working to keep us enslaved. See, that's the reason why that's the name of the show, Love is Blind. There's not a damn thing blind about love. Real love is not blind. Real love wants to know the truth. Real love seeks the truth. Real love seeks to know what's really going on. That's the reason why in all these shows now, they got some black woman running around just all head over heels in love with some white man. Why? Because interracial relationships between black men and black and white women, they can't use that. Why? Because historically, that relationship has only led to the destruction of the black man. Historically, that relationship between the black man and the white woman, historically, that relationship has only led to the death and destruction of the black man. And it didn't give anybody any real power. Because it's not a power play now for a black man to be with a white woman. That don't mean nothing. We see that every day. That don't mean a thing. That doesn't give that black man any more power because he's with a white woman. That don't give him a bit more power. But what they want black women to see is how being with a white man, can put her in a better position of power. That's the reason why you see the Kamala Harrises and the Susan Rices and all of that are married to white men, and they have these positions of power. Because that's what they want black women to think. They want black women to think that that's the only way they can have positions of power, is they have to hook up with a white man. That's the reason why you don't see them promoting relationships like Denzel Washington and his wife. Black woman he'd been married to for all these years. And all of these other black men and those black celebrities who have black wives and have had black wives all the time, you don't see them promoting their relationships. You don't see them talking about their relationships. Because they don't want you to see how powerful black folk are when they come together. See, they don't want to promote that. So sisters, open your eyes and realize what's going on. Open your eyes and realize what's going on. And realize that the only black women that are being uplifted right now, the only black women that are being promoted black right now, the only black women that seem to be winning any kind of awards or receiving any kind of accolades or whatever, as far as the dominant society is concerned, and as far as mainstream white media is concerned, and all of that, are black women that are either caping for the white supremacist system and pushing their agendas, or they're black women that are out presenting the wrong image of black women, like Lizzo. That's the reason why she's been so heavily pushed and so heavily promoted and receiving all of these accolades. Why? It's because she presents the wrong image of black women. Izzo does not represent black women, but they will use her to represent black women. And as long as she's willing to do all the nasty shit that she does, and as long as she's willing to degrade herself and disgrace herself and all of this kind of stuff, they'll keep on using her for that. The Nicki Minaj's and the Cardi B's and all of that. These women are the women that are being upheld and are being pushed and being promoted and all of that kind of Megan Thee Stallion and all of that. Why? Because they present the wrong image of black women. That's the reason why they pushed Tiffany Haddish, so hard at one point. It's because that stereotypical ratchet hood rat stereotype of black women. She pushed that. That's what she represented. Or the mammies like Oprah and Gail. You understand what I'm saying? And Tarana Burke and other folks that are willing, you know what I'm saying, to attack black men, to attack heterosexual black men. Those are the black women that are receiving the jobs and the accolades and the accomplishments and all of this kind of stuff. But black women that are really about the foundational black American community, black women who are really about strong, healthy relationships with black men and all that. You don't see those black women being offered these positions. You don't see them receiving all of this praise and all of these accolades and being offered all these deals and all these movie deals and in Hollywood and all of that. Unless you're willing to push their agendas, the LGBTQ community. These immigrants that are coming in, these black immigrants that are coming in, that are into white worship anyway. They worship white folks anyway. And because of that, and because they're so desperate for white acceptance, they're willing to push whatever agendas these folks tell them to push. But you don't see black women, you understand what I'm saying, that are all about black empowerment, that are pro-black, that are all about black relationships, that are all about, having morals and having ethics, what black folks used to stand for, what the black community used to stand for. You don't see those types of black women being hailed and being praised and being propped up and supported and all of that by the white mainstream media. Hollywood, music deals. You don't see that. And you need to ask yourself why. You need to ask yourself why. But I've been on here long enough. I just wanted to come to y'all. I just wanted to bring y'all this information. You understand what I'm saying? I'll put a couple of links to a couple of articles in the description box so you can go read some of this stuff. But I just wanted to have this conversation with my sisters, and I just wanted to, to bring this information to my sisters. I just wanted my sisters to understand that, yes, you are under attack. It may not be the forceful kind of physical attack, even though it has been some. that the heterosexual black man is dealing with right now, but the heterosexual black woman is definitely under attack. And you need to realize that. And you need to realize that what they're telling you is that as long as you're in a relationship with anybody other than a heterosexual black man, you okay. But the minute you decide that you want a heterosexual black man, that that's what you prefer, then they're coming at you. They coming at you. They gonna call you some kind of phobic. You understand what I'm saying? They gonna tell you you discriminating, and they coming for you. They gonna tell you you wrong. Because like I said, the whole point is to make the illusion seem real and to make what's real seem an illusion. To make what's right wrong and to make what's wrong right. And they're doing everything that they can to make the heterosexual relationship wrong. To make the heterosexual relationship the problem. To make the heterosexual people the ones with a problem. So my heterosexual sisters, this is what you got to deal with. And you're going to have to decide. Are you going to let these folks shame you into accepting what you know is wrong and into accepting what you don't want and what you don't prefer? Just so you don't have to worry about being called homophobic or biphobic or transphobic or being accused of discriminating or being shamed. Are you going to let them shame you? Or are you going to stand up for your right to choose? Just like the LGBT said, that's all they wanted was their right to choose. For folks just to accept that they had the right to choose. Okay, well, let's went all past that now. It's the went all past that now. They got that. Ain't nobody telling them that they don't have the right to choose. So they got that. So why are they still pushing? They're still pushing because it's never been about them having the right to choose. It's always been about them forcing their ideology, the way they live, the way they think, on you, me, and everybody else. So sisters, you got a decision to make. Y'all have a good day.